I met Daddy when he was working with my uncle, my favorite uncle. That was in 1958, ending of 58. Yeah, but I got to know him around December 58. So after schooling and all that, we got married in December 59. Immediately after that, I think a year after, we had our first child, and he traveled to England in 61. Yeah, so I traveled, to join him around 62 June, about 10 months after. Yeah, I got to England, and we've been there together ever since. In fact, he was going there to stay for 5 years, but we ended up by being there for over 40 years. Yeah, so we had, by and by, we had our children, and 5 of them all together. Yeah, and then that's how our marriage started. When I'm joining him, and we stay all these years, which we didn't plan to stay, especially me, because I never liked England. No, I hated the cold weather. Because the cold was severe.
When we first met, I was working in Kingsway stores, Kumasi.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I met. I went to Britain in 61. No, before then I was still working in Kingsway stores. But very interestingly, when I decided to marry my dear wife, to go and see the grandmother, the grandmother, what the grandmother told me, you see, when people talk about secret, there's no secret in marriage. The grandmother told me, I said, Nana Duku. That's what the grandmother refers to me. Nana Duku. I'll not take anything from you, but the only thing I want from you is to make sure that you take care of my granddaughter. And if you can give me that promise, there, so when people talk about what did Fred say? No. I
was a free wife.
Sir, was a provider. So what you promise me, sir, about Frano, because there were 7. And now, Matitonka crack. The Sasso over Menana idea. But then it shall. Now, promise said, Nana, Miss Mendowasi, Miss Mefano, I will not let you down. So, now, by God's grace, I've been able to take care of her. Now, the man hear me, a decoran said, Onana, no, Oyari, into or cocoa share no Satan, me the number a butchery. Now, the Mofrano ever school her, and the number no her. O cocos round and I work right up. Was it I Nana Mamenco? No, some okay. Was it Nana Duku show? Say, who's an end commercial to Mamenco? Me quite me dream. I mean, the confidence the grandmother had in me from what he has seen. Ufi said, and by God's grace, I have never let her down. This is what he told me. This is the only condition. There was no condition. Money didn't come in. I went with one of my friends, my best friend.
I see.
Just to introduce myself to the grandmother first. Because, you see, in Ghana, you have family. The family within family. You may call her, oh, he's my brother, oh, she's my sister. Are they really your sister? Are they concerned about your welfare? You see, so the grandmother was the only, I would say, family. So if you're going to see the family, you're going to see the grandmother. Whatever grandmother says, final. The grandmother, when he said, oh, Maminko, my wife just came to Kumasi, and when she came, within some few hours, the grandmother died. You see, and by God's grace, I have never let her down. We are still together, and we are going to be together until they do us part.
Exactly.
I would say I won't say I'm lucky. We are lucky, because it's not. It's two people are playing the game. You see, if only one person playing, you say I'm lucky. But we are lucky because two of us are playing the game. Since we got married, we have never had financial problem. Not because we have money, but we have understanding. I refer to her as mommy. So when I say mommy, I mean my wife. And she also refers to me as daddy. Say, oh, daddy, mehunu deal with person koto efe. See, di, say di eniska train. If you can't afford it, we don't need it. When the time comes for me to buy her, I'll buy something better than what she chose. You see what I mean? Understand it. I've been telling her that if I die and I'm coming back to the next world, I'll be looking for her. Where are you? Where are you? Before, yeah. When I was working and mommy brought 4 of the children to school in here. And mommy is so much concerned about my welfare. And if mommy can make stew and send it through Ghana Airways to me in London, if the wife is so much concerned about your welfare, what wouldn't you do for her? You see, and she was so much, she said, even if I send this to daddy and he's able to enjoy it for a day or 2, I'm happy. That's the secret I'm telling you. You see, some of our ladies these days will not think about that. Even if the husband is in Kumasi and she's here and she's going to see the husband, instead of preparing small banku or this thing to him there, no. It will never occur to them. But he was here. Look at, she was thinking that if he's able to enjoy it for a day or 2, yeah. You see, love, it doesn't start straight away, oh, we are in love. No. Women of today and men, young people of today, when they meet on the street, oh, we are in love. Or they get married. And within, a year is too long. 3 months, then they start fighting. They break up, And I tell you also one thing, see, when mommy came, and in Britain, when I finished schooling, and I was working, I worked with the civil service for 4 years. I resigned and joined Barclays. And I worked 25 years with Barclays. And I retired with Barclays. I enjoy my work. See, and it never had any, difficulty or any problem on my marriage. When I come home, I come home happily. Because I'm going to meet my love, you see. If coming home, there was going to be a problem at home, then that would have been another matter. But generally, no. We had a cordial relationship. No, sometimes Ghanaians ever say, oh, Duku, dear, Jimmy. Because what I do for my wife. Okay. Because they themselves will not do it. In Europe, generally, they will ask you, whatever you're going to do, they say, your marriage certificate. Your marriage certificate. I mean, you see, in Ghana at that time, we never had marriage certificate. Or you go and see the parents, everything, and that's it. Because of that, you say, okay, young person, you book an appointment with a registrar for marriage. Mommy's uncle was to come and witness. He was so late that somebody who was just walking along the road, we call him Pacho Bra, to come and witness for us. Somebody we have never met came and sang for us. At that time, we had 2 children. When we finished, we were happy. We went home. What did we do? We drank tea and biscuits. In other words, 4 of us, the 2 children and ourselves. Okay. See, we just enjoyed so much so. And people, our friends, our colleagues, who had veil and big church wedding and whatnot, the marriages have broken down. All their marriages have fallen apart. Why? You see, we were not copying anything. You see, the thing is, the love is, you see, so when you talk about our relationship, when you come and live with us here, then you will know that these people, are they pretending? Or it's a genuine love. Okay. So whatever we tell you, it's just a hearsay. Okay. Not until you see, if you come and live with us, then you'll be the witness. Okay. Yeah.
If you want this, that from your husband,
Mm-hmm.
make a list of all your lies and then start doing it to him and see if you don't do it back to you.
Okay.
Because marriage is understanding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think it's money, but to me, it's not money. Because there are so many rich wives who are not happy. So if you do understand, your place as a wife and a mother, I don't see why you should be comparing yourself to other wives and their what they have and what they don't have. That's got nothing to do with you. You see, because at the end of the day, you don't know where the money is coming from or what they are doing to earn it. Some people do buy and buy and buy and borrow and borrow and borrow. So there's always financial problem. And I think that's most of the problem that some couple have most of the time. But if you don't, you can't afford it, write it off your list and know that you don't need it. You see, so I didn't have that kind of financial problem with my husband. No. When the children see this and they said, "Oh, mommy, my friend got this," I said, "Don't think
Compare.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend got it. Do you know how much your friend's parents earn? Ask daddy, daddy, I want this or I need that. Can you give it to me?" Daddy say yes. That's why if he explain to himself that, sorry, you just give me time, I'll do this. Or just listen to your dad or me, but don't compare yourself to anybody. And by taking that kind of attitude, we have never had any problem with financial, and that is the most thing that is breaking marriages now. Honestly, a lot of girls always live beyond their means. My friend got a car. If you look at university girls nowadays, they are at school and they want car. They want almost everything
That's,
under the sun. So they have to flirt with people who are even older than their fathers. So I think once you get financial problems out of your system, you broken the backbone of your problems.
okay.
Yes, because with that, if you have 100 dresses and you are going to a party, would you wear all of them? You wouldn't. So if you dress with one and it suits you, and somebody, sometimes what you dresses may be cheaper and it looks nicer on you than the one who's wearing over 100 pounds or whatever dress. Some people got for about 5 years, 4 years, whatever.
Okay.
I met him October 58 and this, what do you call, December, well, I went to see my uncle, I was introduced to him.
Okay.
So it was just a year between the time I met him that we got married. So I wouldn't say we called for that long.
Okay.
But at least the little I saw of him, I realized that he's somebody I can trust. Somebody who is nice, somebody who is sensitive about one's needs and all that. And because of that, I don't need a lengthy courtship before I know the person. But sometimes some people can pretend. But if you are really looking out for what you want to see, that pretends you see through it.
Okay.
Honestly, you will.
Okay.
You will somehow. At least you will get angry one day.
Mm-hmm.
The way he will talk to you, the way he will shout at you, the way he will strike you, you will know that this one, if I get myself involved deeply, what kind of marriage am I going to have? Daddy, for 61 years I have known him. If I'll be honest to God before man, he had never struck me once. Never. Never. He had an attitude, if there's a problem, he would rather go out. By the time he come home, yes, calm down. Yes. And also, my grandmother, if anything happens, there was a time I was so mad, I said, I'm leaving you. My granny came and he said, hey, what's he say? Ujadu. Janwe, you have to laugh.
Right.
As a married couple, by all means you have a problem. But it depends on how you handle it. Yes. I'll tell you a story about my second daughter. There was a problem that I was a bit upset with daddy. But we don't quarrel for them to hear that, oh, we are fighting or anything. No. So I was quiet. Daddy came from work and he passed in front of the kitchen to go to the dining room. And he said, hi, Dee. And I said, hello. And he went and sat down. And Jackie came. At that time, my daughter was 5 years old. So, mommy, I think daddy loves you anymore. And I said, why that? but he didn't kiss you. And I didn't know he noticed it. And then he went again to the dining room and asked Daddy, don't you love mommy anymore? And Daddy said, why? I do love my mommy. I do love mommy. He said, you didn't kiss her. Because you always kiss you up though. And again,
it was a lesson, right?
And it was a lesson that I took very serious.
Okay.
So whether I'm angry with Daddy or not, whatever we do normally, we have to do it before them. You see? Because the children pick a lot that you don't think they will. Right. They do. And when there's a problem in the marriage, broken in the marriage, whatever, and broken home, the people who get hurt more is the kids.
Children.
Marriage couple, learn to say sorry. Learn to say thank you and whatever. And if you know you are in the wrong, wake him up in the dead of night and talk to him and say sorry. But then tempers have cooled down. You see, so before you get up in the morning, everything is back to normal. But people find it difficult to accept their fault. Well, why doesn't he say sorry first? I've started so many marriage problems, and they said, would you always think, say, or not your yet? I said, ebi onye, but so person marriage didn't cost of their. At least try and see near my wire yen baby, my friend, because I there, why papa beer, okay. Apart from love, there must be trust. If I have said I made a meaning, maybe I know I'm far man, I can be given. And immediately he sent me the money. Within 12 months, we are living in this house. You see, when there is trust and closeness, and whatever it is, let him do it. Trust him. But some men, of course, are not trustworthy. Likewise, women. But it all depends on who. He's in Britain. He's working. How can he come to Ghana to build a house? I did it. And when he came, we were very happy. I even designed the house. So he sent the money, and within 12 months, he sent the money. I finished the house every year. And that was we moved in here 87.
When you talk about we are sharing, you pay this, I pay that, no, that is not good. It's never good at all. And there was a couple. The man, you see, generally food costs more money. So the man chose to pay the rent. And on Saturday, the man will invite his friends. They come in because he's not buying the food. So the woman will be buying food.
Because it's shared.
Because that's her share of, if there's no food, it's the woman who should. You see, so there are so many things that for a marriage to succeed, you must be concerned about the other party. Not only yourself, that as far as I'm all right, but sometimes the women are more intelligent than the men. And if you listen to your wife, there are so many things. Mommy will tell him, this is your friend, yeah, watch him. Be very careful, watch him. Now, if I tell, eventually, when you are in difficulty, if you had listened to her, that problem wouldn't have arisen. So we must always try to compromise. One is, see, God has given women some sort of intuition. There's something in them they can see. You see, we men, we just go follow the crowd, but women, they sit at the back and they watch. In what they see, if they tell you and you take it, you listen to it, eventually you will benefit. See? So we must always listen to the wise. I wouldn't say that they are all the time right, but generally.
Subscribe now.